Welcome to a new test and teardown video. This time it's some special avionic equipment. Look at that one. An AE Radio DC9 weather radar readout unit. Of course, this is not the radar or anything like that. This is just the readout. And it is from 1971. It is in a little bit of a poor condition due to all this rust and stuff. I actually spent a little bit of time trying to clean it a little bit up and see if I could make it a little bit nice and presentable for the video. I don't have the power supply or the radar or anything at all. I only have this really cool readout unit, so we are of course going to pull it apart and see what is inside. The first thing that I figured out is something absolutely amazing I want to show you. Here is this one. Have a look what's gonna happen when I pull this, and it's powered off, okay? See, it goes black. So, I believe there is a polarizer. See? Somehow it dims. I think it is not supposed to just dim in the middle. It's probably going to be dimming the whole surface. There's probably something wrong with the polarizer. Otherwise, I don't know. Why would it just look like that? Maybe it's just because it's more bright in the middle. But that is how it is, and it goes really, really dark. Here at the top, there's a little warning about radar transmitters and strong magnets. That is, of course, also written in French, and that is because I think this company definitely is from France. Here at the back, we got a little BNC connector and a scary mega multi connector. And like I said, I do not have the mating part. And here is indicator written in French. Yeah, look at that. Oops, 1971, I believe. And maybe this is how we open it. Yeah, let's see. There's probably a good way to do that. Yeah, like I said, it is in a little bit of a kind of nasty state. Look at that. So it's not a museum's or collector's item. And also all this really weird rust here. It was very, very difficult to pull the aluminium outer shell away. And we got a little bit of hinges here that shows me that we can flip something up. So we got some, probably some high voltage modules going on here. Ooh, that is, oi, 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 oi. Here we got a high voltage module and a little bit of metal dust. That is some interesting module, probably supplying high voltage to the keep alive sort of anodes up in the front. And what else can we learn from this? And of course this is a radar readout, so I expect, yeah, exactly. No big surprise. So this is the deflection system, and it is of course a rotation deflection system. So this is rotating in phase with the radar, and every time there is a reflection from the radar, you get some signals on the screen, but of course the deflection is a rotating synchronous. Oh, I can't wait to have a look at that. It's some amazing I've of course pulled radars apart before, but I don't think I made any videos about it. So I definitely think this is probably the first for me. Wow, that is some cool mechanics. Let's see how we can get in here and have a look at that. So there's a motor going on here, and here's another high voltage module. What is this doing? Look at that beautiful layer of coating. What a nice module. So we are now a little bit more inside this unit. You can flip out more or less everything. Super service friendly. Really amazing. Look at that. Thermal, good design. Some transistors, and I think this is a little transformer. Look at that. Erase, store mesh. And here is the date. Look at that. 1971. And the third anode. Some rate and some focus adjustments. So this is definitely some high voltage going on. And obviously they also want me to know. Boy, look at that. Down here, I find 2. Really? 2 CRTs, I believe. Is this really how it is? That is some of a surprise. This is the one with the motor. And I think we got probably a Synchro resolver here. See, it says Synchro. So this is the sensor, and the other one is probably the motor. Wow, man. I hope I can get a little bit deeper into this one somehow. But I also don't want to ruin it too much, because I want to put this back again as a little conversation item for my shelf of funky things. Oh, look at that one. This blue dual transistor PCA 7041. Isn't that just beautiful? Have you ever seen a part like that before? This is my first time. And what else have we got of 1971 components? What will that be? Probably just some inductors, little signal transformers or something like that. But that is definitely a super wow. The whole construction is just amazing. And that thick layer of conformal coating, that is a good way to do it. Give it good vibration resistance. And of course the back, you can also flip that one up. Isn't it just amazing the way that this is made? I am a little bit impressed. So here is a big flat special capacitor. And here is also a very special component. Maybe this is a transformer of some sort. Also, remember all these plain electronics, all this avionics stuff, they are running at 400 hertz. And this is not just for fun. It is actually to make all the transformers very small, but also just because the generator is running much faster. But anyway, they're using 400 hertz. So if this is the main transformer, it is actually like the ratio between 400 and 50 hertz. That is the size ratio. So you can imagine it would have been like this big chunk of iron. That is the normal size of a transformer, but a 400 hertz transformer is this tiny little part. And that is just something to remember when you're playing around with avionics. So, exactly as I was imagining, those are power supplies But not just regular power supplies. They take in, see, 115 volt, 400 cycles per second. And so there's a ground in the middle, and this is probably a balanced input drive. And I will, of course, note the colors of those wires really careful, because I am forced to poke these away, desolder all these, and then unscrew. This is the high voltage anode, and also the other one, because this is the only way that I can get deeper into this, because I want to show the deflection system and all that kind of stuff. So that is my goal in this video, to get a little bit deeper into this one so we can have a little look. And here is the full auto code and numbers and stuff like that. I'm sorry it's upside down. Maybe I should put in a little picture that is flipped so it's not looking upside down. Sorry about that. Isn't this just a nice module? And here at the top, see? 8 kilovolts. How nice. So now we know exactly what's going on. It's insanely compact. And in the other side, see, there's another serial number, type number. And here we can read this. Isn't it just sexy, this kind of military type? I love it. And again, this one is also running at 115 volts, 400 hertz. And again, I will take deep notes on all the color codes. And this one is, of course, for the cathode side. So here's a negative 2.6 kilovolts. But here's this no connector, so I need to desolder that one. Yep, just too bad. So I think this is how you service the parts here behind the screen. Well, there is a resistor that is not looking too well. How do you think about that? So I'm actually quite happy that I went in here to have a little deeper look. And this is the different ranges. And that is probably, what is that one doing? Yes, this is a trace adjust. So that will be some high voltages. Look at that, super nice Teflon wire. And this is the main on-off switch. And it's definitely blown up, this resistor. Also, look at the little marks down here. That will be the 2 screws that go through these little holders here. And they created some really nasty marks in the screen. Probably not too good. And that will be the anode connection. Probably to all this metal around it. It's a really thick CRT. Can't wait to see if there's any way to get in here. But this is probably, as you can see, not possible to take this away. So there's no way that I can really see what is in here and what is going on with the deflection and all that. So it's probably all for nothing. How annoying. I really wanted to see the deflection and the rotation system and this extra CRT. What is that doing? So from this angle, you can really see where this resistor blown up into the CRT here. What the heck happened? Oh, there's even a little... Oh, there's a hole in the glass right there. I can feel... Oh no, what happened? Yeah, there's a hole in the glass right there. That is some weird... What happened? I'm trying to see if I can pull out. See? It is getting loose. But I haven't yet figured out how it's coming out. See, it looks like the deflection system is not even touching the CRT, but just around it, see? So it should be able to pull out somehow. I made it. I was able to pull out the entire CRT. And what do you know? It is a dual CRT or some extra connections. I don't think those are another CRT, but those are for all the extra keep alive anodes and stuff like that. Probably a little flood gun or something like that, but the real CRT is that one. And then the deflection is all the way up here. Isn't that funny? So it needs to go through this and then hit the area around the screen. Let me see if I can show this. The distance from that point. How is that even possible to cover this entire screen? I don't understand exactly how that is. Because there is no other deflection, right? It's done in this rotating deflection system, and there's probably some inductors here, but I don't think I can pull this out without causing any kind of damage to this, and that was not my intention. So I'm a little bit afraid that we need to stop this really soon, otherwise I can't really put it back again. It's not supposed to be taken more apart, but you could quite easily, if you know how, change the CRT and then be up and running quite fast again. I was of course able to pull out the deflection. That just goes out the bag, quite easy peasy. So here is the entire deflection motor system, and here is the deflection coil, is of course down here. So one of them is a synchro, and the other one is a motor. See, it says something here about motor. But we got 4 wires coming out of this motor. So of course it's a special type of motor. So you can't just put in a DC voltage or anything like that to get it spinning. That is not how it works. And there's a very impressive gearbox hidden in here. So they're moving really fast with a super high resolution. We can't see a lot of that. And I am definitely not going to pull this apart because I really think it is so nice the way it is. And this is the connection to the deflection coils. And of course you want a nice steady connection no matter where it is. And then it goes here. This is just the nicest. So yeah, now you know how it is done, how it is made. A good old 1971 radar readout. Beautiful, isn't it? So now I'll spend the next few hours trying to put this back together. But I am definitely an expert into pulling stuff apart and putting it back together again. And also I got all the pictures and video clips, so it's not gonna be a big challenge anyway. So far, I want to say thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you soon again. Bye bye.